Welcome to Gachie Skyman TV again. Karibuni. I'm sure wengi umeshindwa what has happened, kwa sababu we were live alafu tukapotea tu mara moja. I know you are asking what happened. This is Gachie Skyman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. Feel free to join us. We are live. And I'm your host, Gachie Skyman, the tallest man in Black Africa. Here we discuss politics, we discuss our nation, we discuss issues that are pertaining us, issues that are affecting us. So for those of you who are in Kenya, good evening. Those who are in Britain, good evening. Those who are in America, good morning. Wherever you are, join us. Kindly register your presence. I know most of you are wondering what happened to our other live video. Nimewambia kwamba huku stima zinapimwa kama dawa na William Samoei Ruto's government. A lot of inefficiency, ladies and gentlemen. Please register your presence. Now, I'm waiting at least to about 100 so that we can discuss the various issues. We have so many issues to discuss. And for those of you who are joining us, kile ambacho tulikuwa tunazungumzia, we had started discussing that meeting between Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the ambassador wa Uchina. Alafu last week tukasema there was that other meeting between Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the British High Commissioner, and again between Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the American ambassador. And after that, we saw Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta again today with Raila Amolo Odinga in Kiambu meeting, having a Jubilee meeting. That is the Jubilee leaders meeting, and many people are asking many questions. So for those of you who are joining this channel, this is Gachie Skyman. Please like this video, register your presence. I want us to have a one-on-one interaction so that we can move together. And I want us to look at something very interesting about NTSA. NTSA is proposing new charges. It is proposing new charges. Wanapanga kuongeza pesa. Unajua the government of William Samoei Ruto wanafikiria tu mambo ya pesa, vile ambavyo wanaweza kupata pesa kutoka kwa wananchi. For instance, they are saying to change the color of your vehicle, they want to increase from 500 shilling to 20,000 shilling. That is 400% increase. That is shocking in my view, because previously, if you want to change the color of your vehicle, you would only pay 500. So NTSA is proposing now, from now henceforth, if you want to change the color of your vehicle, uwe na shilingi 20,000 taslimu. You must have that money again to transfer your vehicle. Previously, if you want the name of the logbook to be changed, it will be the registered owner of the vehicle, you would pay 1,660, and now the new rate would be 10,000. You can imagine where we are headed to, from 1,660 to 10,000, 10K. Again, if you want to be a motor dealer, if you want a license, hapo beleni, we would pay 9,600, and this one has been increased to 100,000. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Tazama vizuri sana, utaona kwamba this is a madman's proposal. When you look at this, NTSA, then you are left with many questions. How do you increase changing the color of a vehicle from Kenya shilling 500 to 20,000? Where do you think Kenyans you get this money? And what is this that is making the government to be very very needy? No, kwa sababu wanaangalia chochote. Remember, they also came up with the issue of changing the IDs and what marriage, what. Although some changes were made, some amendments were made, but what we are having now is something that doesn't add up. If you want to change the color of your vehicle, currently you are supposed to pay 500. But NTSA is proposing that you pay 20,000. That's a lot of money. If you want to transfer your vehicle for the logbook to bear your name, currently it is supposed to be 1,660, 1660. And now NTSA new proposal is 10,000. 10,000 shilling is a lot of money if you ask me, especially considering the state of our economy. Like this video, ladies and gentlemen, and please comment. What do you think about this new rate? And for now, for those of you who want to deal with the motor vehicles, to get the license, currently you would pay 9,600, but NTSA is saying now you shall be paying Kenya shilling 100,000. So you can see now how the government is actually doing to its own citizen. You can see the government of Phosphorus. You can see what we put in office. It's like kuweka nini, unajua what we did in these elections. It's like telling the Mogus kwa Kiswahili anaitwa Guchiro. Yeah, anaitwa Guchiro. Unaambia Mogus that the chicken are sick, and now unaambia Guchiro aende akatibu kuku. That is what we did. How do you send a Mogus to go and treat the chicken? How do you send a Mogus aende awape kuku maji? Unampa Guchiro kazi ambayo si yake. Unampa Guchiro kazi ya kuchuga kuku, unampa Guchiro kazi ya kwenda kuangalia kama kuku wametaga mayai. A Mogus cannot do that, ladies and gentlemen. When you do that, then you are endangering the lives of chicken. Guys, kindly like this video, comment, let me know where you're watching this video from. If you're joining this channel for the first time, this is Gachie Skyman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. We are discussing Kenyan issues, the current issues. And for those of you who missed the other video, we raised some issues of concern. The first one was about Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta meeting Kenya Kwanza, not Kenya Kwanza, Jubilee leaders, and then meeting with the Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and they were wearing the same shirts with the same colors. And again, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had met the Chinese ambassador last week. He had met American ambassador and British High Commissioner. So we were asking what could be happening. Again, what happened, by the way, that is why that video was ended prematurely, is because stima zilikatwa mara moja, na wabia kwamba stima zinakatwa kama zinapimwa kama dawa. Ni kama dawa jameni. And this is something that we cannot be able to accept again. Now, we have also looked at this issue of new NTSA rates concerning motor vehicles. So, for those of you who want to change the color of the vehicle, currently you are supposed to pay 500, but the new rates, according to NTSA, will be 20,000, 20K. So that is 400% increase. To transfer the logbook, the new rates NTSA is proposing from 1,660, that is 1660 to 10,000. That is madness, if you ask me. Again, motor vehicle dealer's license. Those of you who want those licenses, currently we are supposed to pay 9,600, and now the government will be asking you to pay 100,000 shilingi 1,100 ama ni 100,000, whatever. So what we are saying here is that the government is not very keen on the hustlers. Ukitazama vizuri sana hawajali, because you'd expect them to maybe say to transfer or to change the color to make it free, so that many Kenyans can own vehicles, and once they own vehicles they can be able to fuel their vehicles, and once they fuel the vehicles they would pay taxes, and once they pay the taxes the government would collect a lot of money. But now when you make the transfer of vehicle very, very difficult, when you increase the licenses of motor dealership from 9,600 to 100,000, how many investors you go and invest in that business? You are discouraging them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our country. Kile ambacho tulifanya, we actually sent a mongoose to go and find out if the chicken are laying eggs. Hivyo ndivyo ambavyo tulifanya, na sisi hatuna budi kujilaumu, kwa sababu mara kwa mara tunasema mtoto akilia bebe mpe. And guys, remember to like this video. For those of you who are joining this channel, kindly like this video, comment. Let's all like this video. I can see the number is increasing. Please like this video, because we have a number of issues I want us to discuss before those of you who are in East Africa go to sleep. But I know those who are in America, bado ni mapema. Wale ambao vile vile wako kule Uingereza, bado ni mapema. And for those of us who are in Africa, I know most of us sleep from 11 p.m. Lakini bado ni mapema. So guys, tomorrow is Jamhuri Day. Jamhuri Day. Let me start by wishing you a happy Jamhuri Day. And Jamhuri Day is when we celebrate, when we remember how we got our independence. And by the way, we shall be 60. Kenya at 60. According to Kenyan Constitution, wafanyikazi wote ambao wameajiriwa na serikali wanafaa kustaafu wakifikisha miaka 60. Lakini what are we having here in Kenya? We are at 60, lakini bado tunatabaa kama mtoto. Ni kuwa na mtoto wa miaka 60 lakini bado anatabaa, bado hajasimama. Kwa sababu if you look at this country, our founding fathers said that what they were fighting is diseases, ignorance and poverty. Na mpaka sasa bado tunapigana na wale maadui watatu. Ukiangalia sasa utaona kwamba ni kama hata umaskini unazidi. So ladies and gentlemen, is there anything to celebrate tomorrow? Do you see anything? Well, why should we even go and spend a lot of money? Rais William Samoei Ruto akague Waride, awe pale, spend a lot of money, and then by the end of the day you end up spending a lot of money and Kenyans are crying. What is there to celebrate, ladies and gentlemen? Please like this video. Let us interact with the comment section. Comment something about Jamhuri Day. You can even wish members who are here. You can wish our friends, because we are all one big family in Gachie Skyman TV. Wish each other a happy Jamhuri Day, because tomorrow most of us will be resting, and we shall be live. We shall take a lot of time to inform Kenyans what will be happening. So what we are saying is that there's one thing that we should be proud of. We should be proud of our peace. Kenya is a peaceful country. From all angles, even if bado kuna matatizo mengi, Kenyans are peaceful. Kenyans are peace loving. That is one thing I like about Kenyans. That is one thing that we should be proud of. Kwa sababu if what is happening in Kenya could be happening in another country, I'm telling you, William Samoei Ruto would be in great problem. If what we are seeing in Kenya, dictatorship, taxation, you are taxing people, you are taxing everything. If what is happening in Kenya, the reading of pay slips of civil servants, whereby taxes are higher than, taxes are more than the salary itself, the net salary. If that was happening somewhere else, it could destabilize the country. But Kenyans are very, very peaceful. Kenyans are admired because of the way they value peace. Sababu they know what it means, because absence of peace means war. Lakini Wakenya tunajivunia kuwa na amani. Wakenya tunajivunia kuwa ijapokuwa hatuna ule umoja, though we are not united, we have not managed to have a nation, because what we have a country, a state with boundaries, what divided among tribal lines. But even if we are at 60, we are still we are still like neonates. We have not been able to stand, we have not been able to walk, we have not been able to do much. So kile ambacho tunaweza tukasema ni kwamba we need to do a lot. We need to do a lot as far as national unity is concerned. We need to do a lot as far as building the nation is concerned. Something else that we need to note is that even if we'll be celebrating 60 years of independence, one thing is very clear, very, very clear, that the Mau Mau children are still suffering. Those people who benefited are the home guards. Now, by the way, Mau Mau is a Kikuyu word, and it is pronounced kuambia watu toka kwa Kikuyu, kusema toka. So instead of saying umai, wanaanza upande wa nyuma, ndio mzungu asijue vile ambavyo walikuwa wanasema. That is what I was told by an old man, that Mau Mau should be umai. Tokeni. Walikuwa naambia watu watoke, mzungu ameonekana, wakatili ndio hao wamekuja. So what we are saying here is that the home guards are the ones who are leading this country. The sons and daughters of home guards are the ones who are benefiting, ndio wanakula matunda ya uhuru. Sisi hatuna kitu ambacho tunaweza kujivunia. Those who fought for the independence, the little sons of Mau Mau, are suffering at homes, because the little sons of Mau Mau are the real hustlers in this country. You remember, even if you were to look at the current constitution, if you were to look at the current constitution, one thing is very clear, that William Samoei Ruto opposed this constitution. He opposed this constitution. He did not support this constitution. In fact, he was leading the noise. And now, it is the same constitution that he used to swear that he was going to protect. Do you trust him? Do you think he can actually, do you think he can implement this constitution to the letter? If he opposed it, he opposed the constitution because according to him, it was not good. According to him, it was going to divide this country. According to him, this constitution, in fact, he preferred the old constitution. Now, why should we trust him with this constitution? I think Raila Amolo Odinga should have been the president of this country, because he was among the people who brought this constitution. He was among the first people who fought for this constitution. And for sure, he started fighting for this constitution when he was very, very young. And this constitution was realized in 2010. So these are the kind of leaders who should have been given the mandate to lead this nation. Because for one, he believes in this constitution, and he can see, he knows what he wants. He knows what he wanted in this constitution. But William Samoei Ruto does not even know. Somebody was saying, I heard somebody saying that William Samoei Ruto probably has never read this constitution. Do you think William Samoei Ruto has read this constitution? Do you think? Just write yes or no. Because according to me, William Samoei Ruto most likely has never read this constitution. Because when you look at the way he operates, like now, there are so many functions that are supposed to be devolved. But you see, the national government has refused to transfer functions and money. If you look at the way the Ministry of Health operates, utaona kwamba Nancy Nakumicha, who is the CS Health, look like she is the one who is controlling the health sector. Look like she's the one who is in charge of the health sector. This is a devolved function. This is something that should be devolved completely. If you look at the Minister of Agriculture, the national government has no business with the national government has no business with agriculture. That one should be transferred completely together with all the funds to the county government. Kwa sababu hadi ambao wanajua vile ambavyo wanafaa kufanya. Something else that Kenya should know is that hii mambo ya mbolea, fertilizer, pembejeo ite hivyo kwa Kiswahili, it is not the first time that the government is giving out fertilizers. I'm told Kenyatta gave fertilizer in large numbers. Kenyatta even gave jebes. Kenyatta even gave moldboard plows and disc plow to farmers. So William Samoei Ruto hakuna kitu anafanya. Hakuna kitu anafanya. Ask people from Kirinyaga. They were given plows, jebes everywhere. Now, I remember somebody was saying that that time, even the fertilizer that was given was good. I'm Lucy. I think he has read it, but not keen on applying it. Most likely. I'm sorry for the other video, Lucy. It was cut short. Stima zinakatwa tu mara moja. Unajua hapa nimewaambia stima zinapimwa kama dawa. So as you are going on with our discussion, tukajipata stima hizo zimekatwa. Ukikata stima umekata kila kitu. That is why our other video ended prematurely, abruptly, without even notice. Unajua stima zeni wakati zitapotea. Hii ni serikali ya William Samoei Ruto. So even if he has read the constitution, I think, as you say, he is not keen on applying it. But he need to apply it to the letter. Because when you look at it, you realize one of the reasons why he has not devolved all the functions, why he has not transferred some of the functions, is because of money, pesa. Kwa sababu unajua, if they transfer all the functions, they should transfer even the funds that goes with these devolved functions. So hivyo ndivyo ambavyo mambo yanaendelea. So the Home Guards will continue leading this country until maybe 2027, because we strongly believe we are likely to have changes in 2027. Something else is that EPRA, Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, on 7th is expected to make changes on pump prices. In fact, petrol should be selling at 160. That is it. If you go by the price per barrel, it is now selling at $69 per barrel. Hapo beleni, it was selling at almost 100 because it was selling at 98. So by all standards, William Samoei Ruto's government should lower the petrol prices by 60 bob, 50, lowest 50, but 60 is what should happen. But do you think that he's going to lower the petrol by 60 bob? Because that is what he's supposed to do. If he doesn't do that, then no, there's a problem. And hii ndio mambo ya gangster to gangster deal, the G to G, government to government, hii mambo ya mafuta, the way they say that they are going to purchase fuel using Kenyan shilling, only to have the shilling getting a thorough beating from the dollar. And after they got the thorough beating, unaona vile ambavyo tumejipata pabaya. So who is going to compensate Kenyans? So we expect date 14. In fact, tomorrow we expect William Samoei Ruto to announce that he is going to lower the cost of fuel. And you see, once the cost of petrol comes down, everything will come down, including the cost of electricity, including the bus fare. Unajua huu ni wakati ambapo magari mengi, watu wengi watakuwa barabarani wakisafiri, because huu ni wakati wa sherehe. We are in holidays. We are headed to Christmas. In 2 weeks time tutakuwa tunafanya mambo mengi, tutakuwa tunasafiri kutoka hapa kwenda mahali mbalimbali. So the consumption of fuel will be very, very high. And even the fare, the bus fare, itakuwa, if the price will not have changed, Kenyans are going to suffer a lot. Kenyans are going to suffer a lot. Again, remember, we're also going to January. January is when we are taking back our children to school. And from what we are running is that many Kenyans don't have money. Many Kenyans hawana pesa, wanalia, wanalamika, hajui afanye nini. Because what happened is that when the government failed to send the capitation fund, kwa sababu nasikia walikuwa wanatuma manusu, instead of sending 22,000, they only sent 12,000. So kila mwanafunzi akaibwa, kwa sababu ni kuiba waliiba. What do you call this? They were stealing. Let's hope the fuel prices drop. In fact, they have no other, they have no alternative. The price should come down. I don't know where you are, Rusi, if the fuels are coming down. Because from where I am, from where we are, we have seen fuel petrol prices diesel, kerosene, kila kitu ni kupanda, including the gas, cooking gas. So here, because the international price are coming down, the William Samoei Ruto has no business selling fuel at 217 from date 14. And the prices are expected to come down. And by the way, when it was selling at 99, during Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's time, we were buying petrol at 159. Kenya shilling 159. So what you see is a result of, okay, they are talking about the dollar, but you see what they told us. They told us now they'll be buying fuel because this is a G2G a deal. What they'll be doing was now to buy using Kenyan shilling. But that has not happened. That has not been the case. Guys, please like this video. Let us interact with the comment section so that we can have a good discussion, so that we can share what we think. We can share our thought. Kwaba, the fact that EPRA has been increasing the prices, this time round, they have no excuse. This time round, they have no reason. Lazima bei ishuke chini. Otherwise, if they don't do that, Kenyans will continue to suffer. If they don't do that, William Samoei Ruto is going to cause more pain. And this is happening when there are no jobs in Kenya. This is happening when the money has become very, very scarce. Money has become very, very scarce. So you come, because you see, when you go to the supermarket, because the price of commodities are very, very high, people cannot even afford tomorrow. I can assure you, people do not afford a good holiday. People watakaa tu maisha ya kawaida, lakini kwa sababu the few who have been talking to me wanasema tu bora uwe na afya nzuri, bora uwe na afya nzuri. But you need to enjoy. It's a holiday. You need to enjoy, because all the time you don't be having this holiday. So when you don't have anything in your pocket, kwa sababu Wakenya wengi ukichukua umuinamishe hivi, not even a coin will drop down. Not even a coin. Sio kama hapo beleni. In fact, what I'm realizing these days, as you walk on the road, unapata mashilingi yameanguka. Coins, 1 shilling, 5 shilling. Hakuna mtu anachukua, by the way. Hakuna. Kwa sababu pesa hazina thamani. Pesa hazina thamani. 5 bob hakuna kitu inaweza nunua. 1 bob, and unajua mpaka we have 50 cents, we have 10 cents, we have 1 bob. Hizo pesa hazina maana. Hazina maana. In fact, zinafaa kuondolewa kwa uchumi. Karibu Gachie Skyman. Ni kama hawa watu wa kutagataga wanataka tukule huyo mwananyau wako for Christmas. Labda tunapelekewa China, ni kukosa chapo na kuja kwako tukule huyo nyau yake. Karibu Gachie. Nyau yupo. Joseph Otieno. Hi, karibu Joseph. I'm Lucy. Fuel prices in the UK rose in July last year, but they have since fallen. But in Kenya, we have seen the fuel price rising up. It is good that, Lucy, you are here, so that we can compare notes with what is happening in Kenya. And thank you, because you have always been with us, and you have been commenting, you have been liking our videos. We feel very much humbled. So for those of you who are here, you can ask something, we can compare notes, because you have Lucy from UK, and tunaweza kubadilishana mawazo hapa. You can see what she's telling us is that bei ya mafuta kwa inashuka, imekuwa ikishuka, lakini kwetu ni kupanda inapada. So come date 14, EPRA has no business selling us fuel at Kenya shilling 217, and they should be selling at 150. That is what we are expecting from them. Wakienda sana 160, hiyo tunaweza kubali, but anything above 160 wa Kenya huenda wasikubali bei hiyo, kwa sababu wataona kwamba watakuwa wakinyogwa. There is something that has been happening in this country, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are joining this channel, please like this video as we continue interacting. We have seen what has been happening to our ministers. You remember David Churchill, was it in Bomet, when he was jeered, when he was shouted down, akajaribu kuongea in presence of William Samoei Ruto, akajaribu kuongea, he was shouted down, akaambiwa hapana, hatutakusikiliza. Then Kipchumba Murkomen again was chased Kipchumba Murkomen was chased. Alafu jana Malonza kule Ukabani akina Giro had to intervene. Kuso watu wa Ruto hawana mahali pa kukanyaga. The ministers are being chased away. Imagine, ministers are being chased away. What is happening? Kwa kuzuri ni wapi? Kwa sababu kile ambacho tunaona ni kwamba wherever they are going, people are very angry with them. When I was watching Malonza akijaribu kuambia, she was trying to tell Kenyans in Ukabani that William Samoei Ruto is going to foreign countries to look for jobs. He knows that the cost of living is very high, but she was shouted down, especially when she started telling Kenyans that they inherited empty coffers. Did they inherit empty coffers? Mpaka kule wanazima stima. So what they are doing, what they have been trying to do, is to lie to Kenyans. So what is happening what is happening, or what we can learn from this, is that the ground has become extremely hostile for William Samoei Ruto ministers. The ground is not receiving them very well. Kile ambacho tunaona hapa ni kwamba hawa watu wakijaribu kuongea, wakijaribu kudanganya wa Kenya, Kenyans are not ready to listen to what they are doing. So when you have the cabinet secretaries, when you have the cabinet ministers wakifukuzwa na wananchi, what is this telling you? And these are executive. They are from the executive. And that is why I told you, if you look very carefully, there's one thing that you notice about Mount Kenya region and those people who voted for UDA. They are not coming to the ground. Wanajaribu kuhepa. Wanahepa. Hawataki kuonekana mahali ambapo watu wapo. Hawataki kusikiza. Yani, what is happening is that they are trying. That's why you find most of them sasa wanataka kwenda ng'ambo. Lucy utaona huko wakikuja huko kwenu. When you see them coming to your country, it's because the Kenya has become very hot for them. Mambo yamechacha humu nchini Kenya. That is why Malonza anajaribu kuambia watu sijui nini. Ruto is trying to fix the economy. We inherited empty coffers. What? Kenyans are not listening. And that is good. That is good when now Kenyans start expressing themselves. Because how do you go and tell hungry people that you are doing this and this? It was good, and I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, again, David City, remember, when he was trying to tell people about many issues, sijui what, I could hear some sijui Kogoi, I don't know what Kogoi means in Kalenjin, but he was shouted down. And the most embarrassing thing is that William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, was there. So he could see what is happening. And the reason why he was shouted down is because a number of people from the Kalenjin land don't have electricity. Hawana stima. The roads, and again, because of the high cost of electricity. Kwa sababu shilingi 1,000 in Kenya, nafikiri inanua how many units? Is it 24 or 25? Something like that. During Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's time, Kenya shilling 1,000 was buying 64 units. 64 units. So you can imagine what William Samoei Ruto is doing through taxing Kenyans. Unaweza kuona vile maisha yamepanda. Again, when we saw Kipchumba Murkomen, Kipchumba Murkomen is a confidant of William Samoei Ruto. And by shouting down Kipchumba Murkomen, you are shouting down William Samoei Ruto. In fact, I remember when Kameme was in Githurai, because I was in Githurai that time. I was in Githurai. When watu wa Kameme, when they asked the crowd, or asked the voters, salamu tupelekee Gachagua, watu wakasema hapana. Tupelekee William Samoei Ruto, hapana. Tupelekee Uhuru Kenyatta. Hey! They shouted in approval. And that is the time I knew things are getting different. UDA is actually a one-term party. It is not, William Samoei Ruto is a one-term president. There is no way he can win the second term if whatever we are seeing is anything to go by. Kile ambacho tunajionea sisi wenyewe ni kwamba mambo si mazuri. Kile ambacho tunajionea ni kwamba William Samoei Ruto is getting it rough. The ministers, the cabinet secretaries, wanajaribu sasa, wanakaa bali, hawataki kuonekana. The members of parliament from Mount Kenya and from Rift Valley hawataki kuonekana. And I'm telling one thing, if there will be a by-election, I can foresee a by-election in Mount Kenya very soon. I can foresee a by-election. You know, God works wonders. This one is going to humiliate William Samoei Ruto. Because people will vote for Raila's candidate. People will vote for Raila's candidate in Mount Kenya. And this one is going to shock Kenyans. Na watajaribu kuiba, watashindwa. Watajaribu, because people are tired. People are angry. People are hungry. So what will happen? What we are seeing now, kwa sababu tumeona mawaziri wakifukuzwa. Imagine waziri anafukuzwa na jaribu kuongea, hakuna mtu ambaye anataka kusikiliza. For those of you who are joining us, please, this is Gachie Skyman TV, kindly like this video, comment in the comment section. We are trying to see what was happening, or what is happening in our country, because this is our country. Remember, tomorrow is Jamhuri Day, and we are going to see William Samoei Ruto coming and maybe addressing the nation, because normally what is supposed to do is to inspect the guard of honor, then address the nation, then kile ambacho watatuambia. I know he'll talk about the fertilizer. No, according to UDA has been making one mistake. Has been telling us, ukisema maisha yamepanda juu, anakuambia anapeana mbolea. That is what they are. This is the panacea to everything. And then you ask yourself, how is how is the price of uga going to lower the cost of living, how is it going to lower the cost of fuel? How is it going to lower the cost of electricity? Kwa sababu hivyo ndivyo nakwambia. Again, they tell you tunapeana bolea, fertilizer, what. They also talk about we have employed teachers, what. And by the way, this is very interesting. They are lying to Kenyans. Those teachers that they are saying they have employed are contract teachers. In fact, are they contract? Interns. They are interns. And for primary school, they pay, imagine, 15,000. 15,000. What is 15,000? You work for 30 days, you are paying 15,000. And this is the money you are paying to a father like me. A father like me, 15,000 with the children. With the children and a wife. 15,000. Ulisikia wapi? Niambie, niulize tu kama Tanzania. Ulisikia wapi? 15,000. I don't know. Because the minimum wage in Kenya, in fact, here, even a house girl compare 15,000 in Kenya, squeezy, utaona kwamba wengi hukata. So this is what Gachagua and kina Dennis Tubi, William Samoei Ruto, this is what they have been telling Kenyans. Now utasikia William Samoei Ruto akisema hivyo jana, kesho, when you will be addressing the nation. And in high school, the teachers are paid 20,000. And then they deduct pay as you earn. What we call these days, we call it pay as you suffer. Pay as you earn, they deduct. And the pay as you earn in Kenya is that percent. So 15,000, subtract 30% of 15,000, you can imagine what they are getting. There's something like maybe 13,000. And then there is also NSSF, wanakatwa. So what are they getting? These are the teachers that they are telling you they have employed. I wish they have employed them on permanent and pensionable terms, because those ones, they are paid well. We cannot dispute. They are paid at least fairly. They are a bit fairly. So when they tell you that, know what they are telling you. Guys, like this video. Let's interact with the comment section, because this is what we are doing. Because what we know is that this is our country. So the government, when it tells you that it has employed 60,000 teachers, know that they are interns. Know that they are getting 12,000 for primary and 15,000 for secondary, which is a lie. Na sasa hata mtu wa kulima shambani kibarua in the villages, unafikiri anaweza pewa nini? Akwani atapewa pesa hizo kama ngapi hizo? But that is very little. Because sasa huyu mtu itabidi upunguze pesa za nauri, the bus fare. Sasa anaachwa na nini? Na wakati wa jakula, because they don't get lunch. They don't. So when they start lying to us, then we have all the reason to ask why. Something else, very shocking. This one is extremely shocking, very shocking, from a reliable source, because the source is none other than Margaret Nyakango, the controller of budgets. The controller of budget is telling us that William Samoei Ruto spent 4 billion in travel within 3 months. 3 months, 4 billion. That's the money the government is spending in foreign trips and in local trips. From all angles, this is a lot of money. Because if they are spending 4 billion within 1 month, kutembea tu, kuzurura, kutagataga, how much will they spend in 1 year? In 1 year, it means they will have spent 12 billion. Imagine, 12 billion. Kuweka tu pesa. And this is shocking because, you see, we are talking about austerity measures. Austerity measures means we stop spending a lot of money. We save money because we avoid traveling. But this is not what the government is doing. The government is setting a bad example. And by the way, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was spending something like 2 billion. Kitu kama hicho, 2 billion, sometimes 1.8. So you can see how this government is wasteful. Spending a lot of money in foreign trips, because 4 billion within 3 months is a lot of money. Hizi pesa zingetumiwa kukarabati barabara. This kind of money should have been used to be given to wazee. Because in this country, you find old men and women who are very poor, old men and women who are sleeping in beds that, because wanaliwa na chawa kule, you find them, sometimes missing food, nobody to look after them. You find old men and women, especially in the villages. I pity them, by the way, sometimes, because you see what happens is that they have been neglected by the government. The government does not even send the money. The money, hizi pesa ambazo zilikuwa zinaitwa pesa za wazee, zile walikuwa wanalipwa, is it 4,000, 2,000, something like that. The government no longer send the money. I don't know mara ya mwisho walitumiwa lini. I don't know, kwa sababu kile ambacho tunaona ni kwamba ni serikali ipo pale, but doesn't care so much about mambo ambayo yanafanyika kule mashinani. So the government is spending a lot of money. And when it was doing this, Ethiopian Prime Minister came to Kenya because he's going to grace the occasion tomorrow. Ethiopian Prime Minister will be in the celebration, the Jamhuri celebration tomorrow. But the most important thing, the funny thing, is that the Prime Minister used the Ethiopian airline. The Prime Minister will use the Ethiopian airline. That is the funny thing. Na ukiangalia utaona kwamba the guys like our video. Thank you for those who are liking. You can even give the super chat, and that will be very, very good. And continue liking our videos. We are very, very happy for those of you who are joining us. This is Gachie Skyman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. Please continue liking our video. We are very happy the way you are joining us. And by the way, I'm saying today the Ethiopian Prime Minister used the Ethiopian airline to come to Kenya. While he was using this, William Samoei Ruto has been using the military choppers, moving from one place to the other, even when going to foreign trips. He does it instead of using Kenya Airways, the pride of Africa. Where is the pride? If he doesn't use Kenya Airways, how does he expect other people to use Kenya Airways? How does he encourage? Because if you are talking about austerity measures, then it means we use what we have. Then it means we try as much as possible and minimize the travels, unnecessary travels. But when you have our president and his government and his people spending 4-point-something billion within 3 months, then this is bad. Then this is wrong. Then this should not happen. Then whatever he's saying is preaching water and drinking wine. And this one should not happen. And it is important when you call a spade, kwa sababu haina haja unaambia watu ati msitumie pesa, mfanye hivi na hivi, na wewe ndiye unaongoza katika uvujaji wa pesa. Because I think there's a lot of embezzlement. This is embezzlement of funds. This is misuse of funds, because ukiangalia wanalia, wanasema serikali imefilisika. You are telling us the government is broke, yet you are spending a lot of money. You are spending a lot of money moving from one place to the other, and instead of actually utilizing the money, then you are wrong on this one. And there's no way you're going to support this. Something else, Murkomen. Kipchumba Murkomen, who is the Minister for Transport, told Kenyans that the power blackout was sabotage. The power blackout was sabotage, and it was sabotaged by somebody, and they are pointing fingers, I know, to who? Whom do you think they are pointing fingers to? Mnafikiri nani wanadua wanajaribu that they are sabotaging the government? Mnafikiri nani anadua? Maybe you can let me know through the comment section, because what they are doing is wrong. They are telling us that somebody is sabotaging the government. Sasa unajiuliza, even if the government is being sabotaged, by who? Now, it is happening wakifanya nini? It means then that the intelligence is asleep. The National Intelligence Service, it means the guys are asleep. And do you think it is true? Because what they are trying to do is to politicize a very serious issue. How do you politicize a blackout? How do you start blaming other people? Because most likely they start blaming Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. They start blaming Raila Amolo Odinga. And especially that today, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta met the leaders of Jubilee in Kiambu together with Raila Amolo Odinga. And the fact that they were wearing similar shirts, Raila and Uhuru were wearing similar shirts, and they met Kiambu leaders. This is something that is causing jitters. So Kipchumba Murkomen is telling us that what is happening is that somebody is sabotaging the government. And who is this person? Your guess is as good as mine. But one thing I know, and for sure I know, and it is true, is that nobody, and I repeat, nobody is sabotaging the government. This is just propaganda meant to hide the embarrassment, because the blackout caused a lot of embarrassment. The blackout are shame. They should not happen in a country at a time like this. It is risking our lives. It is risking the lives of people who are in hospital. It is risking the lives of Kenyans. It is putting our lives in danger. So by Kipchumba Murkomen talking about sabotaging the government, I know it is wrong. I know, and I can say and I repeat, it is something that should not happen, and nobody should listen to him. And it is meant to just pass the blame to Azimio, kwa sababu what is happening, because they are losing popularity, kwa sababu hili ni swala ambalo liwakasirisha watu sana. Because how do you have a blackout? I think 4 blackouts within 3 months. Imagine 4 national blackouts within 3 months. This is serious. This is serious. So telling us that somebody is trying to sabotage the government, it is not true. Telling us that somebody is trying to sabotage the government, you are lying to us. You're not telling us the truth. You are trying to divert the attention of the real issue. Let us face the real issue. And that is why even some people want this person to resign. In fact, there has been call for John Murkomen to resign. And I think if together with David Churchill, there has been a rallying call. And today I saw Dennis Itubi saying that Kipchumba Murkomen is not the problem, it's not guilty, yes, hereby mesababisha, nini. But you know, he's the one who told Kenyans that they have rectified the problem, they have started by generators. Because generators is just a matter of switching. Why did they not switch the generators? Where were they? Why approach the airport in darkness, even when he had visitors? And by the way, remember Belarus president Alexander Lukashenko something arrived in the country in darkness. Do you know that? This man, who is a president, who is a dictator, but is a dictator by the way, and Belarus is in Eastern Europe, and Belarus is very, very close ally of Russia, and Russia is using Belarus to launch some missile to Ukraine. So there is an associate. And if you watch my other video, I told you that this president, Alexander of Belarus, is the last dictator in Europe, the last dictator standing. And this guy does not allow freedom of the media. This guy does not allow free and fair elections. This president has been in office since 1994. Kwa hivyo ukiangalia utaona miaka hiyo ni mingi, almost 30 years. The guy has been in office for 30 years. So when he was coming, he arrived in darkness. That was by the way. That's not the main issue. Kwa hivyo jamaa alikuja kukiwa na giza. And how he came in darkness. And let me tell you why he came, arrived at that time. Because he arrived at 8:45. Wakati kulikuwa na giza. The first thing is because William Samoei Ruto does not want this man to be seen. Kwa sababu we only saw him on his X handle. William Samoei Ruto's X handle. Akiandikwa pale, sijui would have held a bilateral meeting, what. And then, even now we don't know whether he's still in the country. Because, William Samoei Ruto is a close ally of Joe Biden, is a close ally of Britain and the European countries, the West, call it the West. Kwa kile ambacho alikuwa anafanya ilikuwa because William Samoei Ruto want to benefit from both sides. That is from the east and from the west. Because huyu ni mtu ambaye hapendi, because you see America does not support Russia-Ukraine war, does not support Russia, because Russia is seen as the aggressor. People do not support Russia because this war has caused a lot of problems. Kuna mambo mengi ambayo yametokea. So the fact that Alexander is a close ally of Putin, and Putin look like is a dangerous person for sure, and for sure is a very dangerous person. The fact that he's a close ally of this man, it means that William Samoei Ruto did not want this person to be seen coming at this time. So that is why it happened like that. So that is that, guys. Something else. Pesa. You're wondering why I've given the title of this video. Pesa kupelekwa vijijini kwa magunia. Yeah, money will be taken in sacks. And by the way, it is started. You know what this government is doing? Because it has lost popularity. It has completely lost popularity. It has lost favor with the people. That's why I've told you that the ministers are being chased away. And you have seen it yourself. You saw Malonza, we saw David Stichel being jeered and heckled. You saw Kipchumba Murkomen being chased away. Murkomen must go. Murkomen must go. You remember that song? And now what they are doing, what the government is doing, because they have lost popularity, especially with the youth. Kama kuna watu wataki kusikia mambo ya UDA kwanza katika mlima Kenya na tena even Rift Valley, bonde la ufa, wale watu najua hao ndio walichagua hii serikali kwa wiki compared to other regions. I'm not saying that the other regions don't vote for them. They voted for them, but not like they voted for you, for Azimio. So because they have lost popularity, sasa pesa zinabebwa kwa magunia hivi. And then what they are doing, they are arranging tournaments. It will happen in Kiharu tomorrow. I want you to watch what will happen to Kiharu tomorrow. Pesa zitapelekwa huko kwa wingi. Kwa wingi. Na pesa zilikuwa zimepelekwa, but then initially they had started by taking money to Kalenjin land. Maybe you can comment through the comment section. What do you think about this issue? The issue of sending money, because that is what they are doing, sending money to the villages. Sasa vijana ni kama kuhogwa na hogwa. They are bribing the youth. They are bribing the youth because of one, they want to win the support of the youth. Two, they have lost favor with the youth. Number three, they want that idea. Kwa sababu ukiangalia vizuri sana utaona kwamba UDA, what UDA is doing, bado imeanza tena kutumia kanisa. UDA has gone again back to the church. You saw it in Kimede yesterday. The president was there, and within 3 minutes, he was able to raise more than 2.5 million. I saw Ishongwa akaambiwa atoe 400,000, akatoa 500,000. You see? Alice Wahome, no, Alice Nganga, Vika MP akaambiwa atoe 50,000, akatoa 100,000. Then Kimani Wamatagi, Abona Ruto, toa 300,000, akatoa. William Samoei Ruto give 900,000. Nani mwingine? Huyu jamaa wa Gatodo South MP akatoa Kororia, anaitwa somebody Kororia, akatoa 100,000, alikuwa ameitishwa naye 50,000, akatoa 100,000. So pesa kwao ni kama maji, ni kama karatasi, ni kama karatasi. They are working with money in sacks, money in sacks. That's what they are doing, and they are taking money to the villages. And initially, I've said they decided that to take a lot of money to Kalenjin land when they have football tournaments, and you saw it. Uliona pesa zikibebwa pale. So what happened? People from Mount Kenya started complaining. They started saying, so sisi hamwezi kumkatuletea pesa, mnapeleka tu pesa Kalenjin land, mnapeleka tu pesa Rift Valley kwa Ruto. Sasa sisi si watu, we did not vote for you. So they have now started bringing money in sacks. Tomorrow in Kiharu, money will be there. Pesa zitapelekwa pale. What people will enjoy. People will enjoy. Because William Samoei Ruto believes one thing. If you want to win the hearts of Kikuyus, tumia pesa. With money, anything is possible in the mountain. With money, just a few people will be left standing. With money, you can climb the mountain. In fact, during the campaign, I was having some discussion with some Kikuyus, and they were telling me that the problem is there Amolo Odinga. Najua sini huyo mtu wenu ubaya yake ni mkono gamu sana, hatoi kitu. That's the complaint. But because William Samoei Ruto knows, najua William Samoei Ruto learned this from Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Because Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi would give money to Kikuyus, would use money to win the hearts of the Kikuyus. One time, because people were trying to reject Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, and Kanu in particular, walikataa Kanu kabisa. There was a place called Kipipiri in Nyandarua County. What happened? There was a by-election, and there were two candidates, one for DP, Moi Kibaki. The candidate was Mwangi wa Githiomi, the former Nyandarua senator, and he was contesting with a minister, former minister, and that minister was Kabegu Amuregi. So what they did, they brought so many electric poles, vigigi vya stima, vikawekwa ni vigi. But the people of Nyandarua, Kipipiri, wakakataa kabisa. They refused to vote for Kanu. You know what Moi did? The following day, Moi came, carried all the posts, akaenda nazo. I remember the following day I was reading Taifa Leo. Taifa Leo headline was, Kanu Moi aoja piripiri kipipili. Yeah, Moi aoja piripiri kali kipipili. So you can see Moi was using electricity as a bait. Na ukitazama, William Samoei Ruto has learned this trick to win the support of the Kikuyus. Mwaga pesa. Kwa hivyo pesa zitamwagwa nyingi kule vijijini, kule mashinani. A lot of money. Expect a lot of money in Kikuyu. Because you see, I heard William Samoei Ruto in Kimende saying that since Kimani Ichung'wah is the majority leader in parliament, even when it comes to money, he should be the majority. And that is why he was asked to give 300,000, while others were asked to give 50,000. You can see. So Kimani Ichung'wah is somebody who is now very rich, very, very rich. And William Samoei Ruto knows this. So even in Kikuyu, expect so many tournaments, football tournaments, and other kind of tournaments. Not necessarily football. Hata mishale, darts, utaona mishale pia ikitumika pale. And the participant will earn a lot of money. They will be given a lot of money. Expect this to happen in every sub-county, in every constituency, in every location where we have UDA or in Kenya Kwanza in particular. Kwa sababu, having lost the game, having lost the script, they have no business, they have no trick. Guys, like this video. Kindly, please like this video and let us interact with the comment section. I don't know why I'm not seeing many comments. Please, guys, let us interact. Sijui kama kwenu mmeona pesa. Mmeona pesa zikiletwa kwa magunia. For those of you who are in Kiharu, mkipata pesa kesho, mtuambie, because I believe pesa zitamwagwa because the government is becoming very, very unpopular in those places. The government is losing everything. Na jambo lingine ambalo which I think it is important when we talk about it is that when you look at this country, there is something that is happening. There is a state of despair. A state of despair is creeping in. Now, when people start despairing, then you have to be worried if you are the leader. You have all the reason to get worried. People are becoming desperate. In fact, to show how people are becoming desperate, and I think that is why William Samoei Ruto is very busy looking for jobs outside the country. He has realized that people are becoming desperate. I was looking at the number of people who are applying for green cards, and I was shocked by the huge number of people who were applying for green cards. I've never seen, since green cards came to Kenya, sijawahi kuona watu wakijitokeza kwa wingi kama vile ambavyo niliona. They came out in large numbers looking for green cards. Guys, please like this video. For those of you who can give super chat, please give me a super chat. Guys, for those of you who can like this video, please like the video. Let us interact with the comment section. I don't know why I'm not seeing your comment. Hapo mbele nilikuwa naziona alafu zikapungua. Now I cannot see any. Please guys, comment so that we can interact. So Kenyans are losing hope in their country. They are losing hope with their country. And even tomorrow, I'm worried kama watu watajitokeza kwa wingi. I'm worried. William Samoei Ruto, unless he mobilize people to attend the national celebration, atajiogelesha pale. He is likely to meet empty chairs. But I know the government is going to use money to mobilize people. The government is going to use village chiefs. Is going to use elders to mobilize people. And to avoid the embarrassment, I know the government is going to spend money. Kwa sababu unajua the NIS guys, the National Intelligence guy, they are telling William Samoei Ruto how the ground is. I don't think William Samoei Ruto has any support in Nairobi. I don't think William Samoei Ruto has any support left in Mount Kenya. I don't think he has any support left. So I think tomorrow, if he is not careful, he is likely to address empty chairs. People are losing hope. People have lost hope. Watu wametamauka. Watu hawana mwelekeo. And the people are losing hope with the government because, what happened is that William Samoei Ruto took people akawapeleka juu zaidi, and then all of a sudden akawachilia wakaaguka kama jiwe. It was so painful. It was so bad. They had very high expectations. But today they are crying. But today they have nothing to look forward to. I know of families that are sleeping hungry. I can tell you. I know of people who are not leaving the house. Hakuna mahali pa kwenda, hakuna kazi, hakuna la namna. In fact, I know of people. I know some two friends of mine wamekopa marafiki zao zote, wamekopa from all types of apps, wamekopa M-Shwari, wamekopa Fuliza, wamekopa KCB, wamekopa za Haswa. Sasa hakuna kitu kimebaki. Hakuna lolote. In fact, It is very embarrassing because you see, when you're a man and you don't have a coin, you don't feel comfortable, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you who are watching this video, guys, you can tell them, gentlemen, you know how you feel when you don't have a coin. When you don't have money, you're not comfortable, you're not happy, and they look like you don't enjoy life. So the cause of all this is the government. The cause of all this, because you see what is happening in this country, many businesses are closing down. Many businesses are closing down. How do you find a new business? In fact, in Nairobi, a friend of mine who operates a business was telling me that these days the landlords are not even asking for goodwill. They are not asking for goodwill. Majority are not asking for goodwill. Unaenda tu unapewa nyumba kwa sababu anajua hana hakika kama utakaa hapo. And then baada ya kupewa nyumba, baada ya kuchukua nyumba, wewe ukilipa kodi miezi mbili, miezi mitatu, anakubali, anakuambia maybe you pay a deposit of 3 months. Hapo beleni, it would be very, very difficult to get a rental house ya kufanyia biashara. Kikoba, Kamukuji, Kirinyaga Road, Nyamakema, those areas ilikuwa vigumu sana. Siku hizi nyumba zipo kwa wingi. I know of people who have closed businesses. I know too in Nairobi. So people are not opening new businesses. Reason? High taxes. 2, mazingira magumu ya kufanya biashara. 3, what is happening in this country? Goods are coming through Kisimayu, na Wakenya wapenda amani, wapenda kutumia njia ambazo ni nzuri. Wewe ukisema ati zako unatumia all the way to Mombasa through the legit mean, zingine zikuja kwa ndege, zingine kwa merikebu na majahazi. Kuna wengine ambao wanaziletea Kisimayu. Anaziletea Kisimayu and unakuja unapata anauza, if you are selling say the so many clothes, those of you who deals with boutiques, you know there are those turkey dresses. If you go to Isli, you can get a turkey dress. Find somebody, he's really selling at Kenya shilling 800. 800. In the same place, you find another Mogekuyu. Unajua wanajiita watu fanya biashara, wapenda biashara. Because zake zimepitia njia halali, he has spent a lot of money. Such a person is selling at 3,500. You can see now. How many days is the Kikuyu man or the Kikuyu business lady going to last in the business? Competing with somebody whose dresses came through Kisimayu. These are the things that are happening in this country. Sugar, the same. Sugar, the same. Because the government that we have, most of these cabinet secretaries are dealers. Ni watu wa madeals tu. Madeals. That's why you see they are importing edible oil. Wanatuletea. Wakishatuletea. Then, before you know what is happening, it is declared unfit for human consumption. And then because they want it to go to the market, whether good or bad, they don't care whether it is good for human consumption. Bado wanahoga na inaingia kwenye soko. That is what is happening in this country. That is why businesses are closing. That is why Kenyans are losing hope. That is where we are. Wengine unaona benki zikuja kwa sababu walichukua loans, walichukua mikopo. You took loans and you are now unable to clear the loans. You are unable to pay the same loans. So you see the government or the banks coming, they come calling, and then before you know what is happening, auctioneers are on you, selling your house, selling your car, because you are unable to service your loan. And by the way, the government, that is the Central Bank of Kenya, last week increased the lending rate from 10% to 12%. Ngoja utaona vile mambo yatakuwa. Those of us who are having loans, if you have a loan, and I remember some banks were sending text messages to the borrowers, to their customers, that from now henceforth, the interest rate has increased from this to this. So we end up paying a lot of money. We end up paying a lot of money through interest rate because life has become very difficult. So the Central Bank of Kenya increased the lending rate. That means commercial banks have to increase their rate. They have to increase their interest rate. What does that mean? That very few people will go for loans. That means it will become very, very difficult to have a loan. That means development will stagnate. That is what we are saying. That is what we are saying in this country. Hivyo ndivyo ilivyo. Hivyo ndivyo ilivyo. Hivyo ndivyo tunavyoona mambo yakiendelea. And who will go for a loan which you cannot be able to service? That is why I'm telling you that Kenyans are despairing. And when Kenyans are despairing, Rigathi Gachagua is telling Kenyans that William Samoei Ruto cannot implement his plan within 5 years. So, atimpe miaka 10. Are you ready for that? Do you think Kenyans can stomach 10 years of Kenya Kwanza administration with this kind of life, with this kind of issues? Unafikiri watawezana na haya maisha? What I think is that Gachagua is telling Kenyans tumeshindwa. Nafikiri if you ask me, ni wameinua mikono hivi. They are raising their hands. Because what we did when people elected UDA, they elected UDA ni kama we give, like giving somebody to drive a truck, an experienced person to drive a truck along Mombasa Road, and this person doesn't have the experience, doesn't know how to drive a truck. So what he's trying to do, he's just igniting the vehicle. The vehicle is not moving. The vehicle is not going anywhere. In a guruma to vroom, vroom, vroom. That is what is happening. So he's trying to accelerate even before he put the gear. Even he put the gear that will drive this truck. So our driver is there. Our driver ameshindwa kuendesha gari. What do we do? Hapo zamani za kale. Unajua, our mothers when they were cooking, I heard a mzee saying that. Which is true, by the way, because I also witnessed the same. In the Kikuyu traditional society, we have githeri. In Kiswahili, call it pure. In English, is maize and beans. That mixture is called githeri. When you want to know if it is cooked, kama kimeiva, ama kama pure imeiva, you just take just one grain and a bean. If they are well cooked, you would taste. If they are well cooked, then you'd remove the pot from the fire. That one was enough to know whether all the food was well cooked. But now what we are having now, we have the pots on fire. We have the cooking pots. And we have tasted the food and it is not well cooked. It is not well cooked. It is not cooked. Neither too. That's what we are saying. So what we are saying, such a pot, even if you continue putting more fire, you know, there are some beans that cannot be cooked. There's some maize that cannot be cooked. Whatever method you use, no matter the intensity of the fire, it will remain like that. So even if you continue cooking that food, it will remain like that. It will remain raw. That is what you have in Kenya. That is what we have in Kenya. So nothing more, nothing good is going to come out of this government. Nothing good. Guys, please like this video, comment in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching this video from. And if you're joining this channel for the first time and you have not subscribed, please take that 1 minute. Subscribe to this channel. This is Gachie Skyman TV. We are discussing the situation in Kenya, how things are as we continue with this country. Tomorrow, remember, is Jamhuri Day. And in Jamhuri Day, this is when we remember our Independence Day, when Kenya became a republic. That was 1963. So we shall be celebrating 60 years. And I've told you, Kenya inaweza kufananishwa na mtoto ambaye ana miaka 60 lakini bado hajatabaa. That is the reality. Mtoto wa miaka 60 has not been able to walk. Is still crawling. That is where we are. And this child, not that he cannot be able, not that he has any disability. The problem is poor leadership. Poor leadership. And we have continued with the poor governance. Because when you look at William Ruto's government, it is confronted by so many issues, so many challenges. Number 1, corruption. Number 2, corruption. Number 3, corruption. So these people, we are receiving scandals. We are hearing scandals every day. The Auditor General and the Control of Budget are reviewing scandal after scandal. And what we are seeing is shocking, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, even during COVID, Kenya was better. We had a crisis, we had a COVID, but things were better that time compared to now. Those are dogs. You know, it is late into the night. That's why you hear dogs barking. They keep me company. And it is good. It is good when you hear them barking. And ladies and gentlemen, I want us to end this show here. And I'm happy that you have kept me company. I'm happy the way you have subscribed to this channel, the way you have supported this channel. And if you feel that there's a way you want to reach out to me, please do. I'm always ready. I'll answer every question that you raise. I'll answer every issue. And even when I don't answer, I read. Because sometimes it becomes very, very difficult to read all the comments. It becomes very, very difficult to look at some of these things. So tomorrow, I wish you a happy Jamhuri Day and have a blessed night. Those who are in Kenya and East Africa in general, those who are in UK, still good night. Those who are in America, good day. Till next time, bye-bye.